In this episode, I will explain the matrix PD array. This concept is very powerful on higher time frames that it can help you identify the market direction for weeks. I will explain how to identify it and how to use it in your trading. So let's get straight into it. So first let me explain what a matrix PD array looks like. I know many traders who are watching this video may not be very familiar with this concept, so we'll start from the basics. If you look at the chart, you can use the Fibonacci tool with specific settings to create what we call a matrix PD array tool. Once you configure those settings, you can simply save it as a template, just like I did. You can name the template something like matrix, and then you'll be ready to use it on any chart whenever you need it. Now, what this tool actually does is divide the wick of a candle into quadrants. These quadrants help us analyze where price is positioned within the wick, which makes it very useful when we want to identify precise areas for entries, especially while using a higher time frame reference. As you can see, the wick is divided into different sections or quadrants. There is an upper quadrant, a middle area, and a lower quadrant. These zones help us understand where price is reacting within the wick. The upper quadrant and the lower quadrant are particularly important because they allow us to fine-tune our entries based on market conditions. By understanding which quadrant price is interacting with, we can often get a much more precise entry instead of entering randomly. In simple terms, the matrix PD array is a tool used to measure candle wicks in quadrants, helping traders identify high probability reaction zones on the chart. Now that you understand what a matrix PD array is and how it is created, let me show you how to actually use it on real chart examples. Looking at this example, first let me go through a top-down analysis, because before we execute any trade, we always want to understand what the higher time frames are telling us. So first, if we move to the daily time frame, what do we have here? The first thing we can clearly see is that we have these smooth highs, or you can call them equal highs. Smooth highs and equal highs are basically the same thing because both represent resting buy-side liquidity. So right away we know there is liquidity resting above price. Now besides that, do we have anything else on the daily time frame? Yes, we do. We have a daily fair value gap, and you can clearly see that price is bouncing off that fair value gap. So price is reacting from the fair value gap and respecting that area. At the same time, if you pay close attention, you can also see that there is a sell-side liquidity sweep that already happened. So price already swept sell-side liquidity and then started moving higher. Now once price sweeps sell-side liquidity and starts moving higher, that already gives us an important clue about market direction. After that sweep, price continues higher and also forms another fair value gap. But even though price is moving higher, I do not want to buy in the premium. I repeat this again. I do not want to buy in the premium. What I want instead is for price to retrace back into discount, because buying in discount gives us a much better position and a much better risk to reward. So the idea here is very simple. I want price to retrace lower into the discount zone, and once price reaches that discount zone, then I want to start looking for long entries. Now if I take a look above price, I can easily target these smooth highs or equal highs, because that is where the liquidity is resting. That is a very obvious target. However, we do not necessarily need to target that entire move. That would be a very large risk to reward move, and holding a trade that long can sometimes be troublesome. So even though those equal highs are the overall draw on liquidity, we can still take smaller targets along the way. Now there is another important thing here. We also have an internal daily sell-side liquidity sweep, and that sweep gives us extra confirmation that price is likely to move higher. Now the next question I ask myself is this. Do we have any significant wick inside this entire price range? And if you look closely, you can see that one wick clearly stands out more than the others. This wick is larger than every other wick in this range. It is basically outshining every other wick in this price range. So if we mark out this wick using our matrix PD array tool, this is what it would look like. Now that we have the matrix PD array marked, let's move down to the 4-hour chart and see if we can find more confluence. Remember something very important about the matrix PD array. The lower quadrant works the same as discount, and the upper quadrant works the same as premium. So in simple terms, lower quadrant equals long opportunities, upper quadrant equals short opportunities. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, what do we see inside the lower quadrant of the matrix? You can clearly see that we have a 4-hour fair value gap sitting inside the lower quadrant. So now the idea becomes very clear. I want price to retrace as lower into this fair value gap, which is also inside the lower quadrant of the matrix. So I wait for price to come back down into that area. And as you can see, price does retrace back into the matrix. Now at this point, I want to pay close attention to how the candle bodies react at the levels of the matrix. If I am looking for long positions, there is one rule I like to follow. I usually do not want to see candle bodies closing below the 0.75 quadrant. So I carefully watch what the candle bodies do. And as you can see, price does not close below the 0.75 quadrant. Instead, the candle bodies are getting rejected from the discount area of the matrix PD array. That rejection tells me something very important. It tells me that price is respecting the discount zone. Now the next question is, did price fully fill the fair value gap yet? No, it did not fully fill the fair value gap yet. So now I move down to the 15-minute chart to look for more detailed price action. On the 15-minute time frame, you can see that price first forms a low, and then the very next candle sweeps that low. Now there is something else happening at the same time. Price also taps into a market structure shift level. So now we have liquidity sweep matrix, discount reaction, fair value gap, market structure shift. Now the only thing we need is confirmation. So we move down one more time frame to the 1-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, once we see a change in the state of delivery, that becomes our confirmation. Once that confirmation appears, I can enter the trade. My entry would be around that point, and my stop loss would be placed below the low. Now for targets, I can simply target the highs above price because those highs represent liquidity. And if you watch what happens next, you can see how beautifully price reacts from our entry. Price moves exactly the way we expected. It starts pushing higher and higher and eventually moves straight into our targets. You can clearly see how price went directly into those highs, which were acting as our target levels. So if you look at this example on the daily time frame, you can clearly see how price was respecting the lower quadrants of the matrix PD array. This is very important to notice because it shows us that price is reacting exactly where we expect it to react. If you pay close attention, you will see that price is rejecting from the 0.5 level, which is the midpoint of the wick that we measured using the matrix. And something very important happens here. Not a single candle body closes below the 0.5 level. Now you might notice that the wicks are going below the level, but remember something very important. The wicks do the damage, but we do not care about the wicks. What we care about is the candle bodies. Candle bodies show us the real acceptance of price, while wicks often represent temporary liquidity grabs or volatility. So the key observation here is that none of the candle bodies closed below the 0.5 level, which means price is still respecting the discount area of the matrix. Now there is another way to trade this situation. If you look closely, you can see that we have a bearish candle that still respects the 0.5 level. Even though the candle is bearish, it still respects that midpoint area of the matrix. At this point, the next step is to move down to the 4-hour time frame. When we shift to the 4-hour chart, we want to look for confirmation. And the confirmation we are looking for is a change in the state of delivery combined with a fair value gap. Once price gives us that change in state of delivery, and once we see the fair value gap forming, we now have a clear trading setup. At that point, I can easily place my entry at the consequent encroachment of the fair value gap. The consequent encroachment is simply the midpoint of the fair value gap, which often acts as a precise entry point. For risk management, I will place my stop loss below the fair value gap, because if price completely invalidates the fair value gap, then the setup is no longer valid. And for the target, we can aim for the highs we talked about earlier, since those highs represent the draw on liquidity. Now, if you watch how this trade actually plays out, you can see that price moves exactly as expected, reacting from the fair value gap and pushing toward those highs. And this perfectly demonstrates how the matrix PD array helps us refine our entries. You can see how precise the entries become when we combine the matrix quadrants, premium and discount analysis, and fair value gaps. It actually makes trading much simpler. All we really need to do is identify the premium and discount areas of the wick, align it with our bias, and then look at how price behaves within the quadrants of the matrix. Once you understand that process, you will start seeing how clean and precise these entries can become. All right, so that is how you can use the matrix PD array in your trading. The main idea is very simple. Instead of randomly entering trades, we use the quadrants of the wick to understand where price is in premium and discount, and then align that with our bias and higher time frame analysis. Once you start looking at the market this way, you will notice that price often respects these quadrants very precisely, and it allows you to get much more accurate entries with better risk management. Remember, the key is to focus on candle bodies rather than wicks, understand where price is within the matrix quadrants, and then combine that with fair value gaps, market structure shifts, and liquidity. If you practice this concept on your charts, you will start to see how powerful it can be for refining your entries and understanding market behavior. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who wants to improve their understanding of price action and PD arrays. And as always, I will see you in the next video.